For more on the latest, we are now being joined by Peter Kuznick, professor of history and director of the Nuclear Studies Institute at American University. Peter, welcome back to WION and great to talk to you. How will Iran's new missile city impact regional balance of power? Can we go that far? And just sticking closer to the story, what implications does this move have for Houthis?
Iran is a potent force in the region. Iran has defensive capabilities and offensive capabilities. In the two exchanges last year with Israel, Iran showed not only that it can prevent Israel from flying over Iranian airspace, but it has the ability to strike inside of Israel and beyond that. So Iran is making a statement just like the United States is making a statement right now. And Israel has been trying for years to get the United States to back Israel in an attack on Iran's nuclear facilities. Well, the situation could, as you suggest, easily spiral out of control. The possibility of this sparking World War III is a real one. But the U.S. is intent upon striking in Yemen and accusing Iran of backing the Houthi attacks. So this is a situation that gets more dangerous by the day. And the U.S. right now is also looking for a distraction. This latest fiasco with the intelligence community and including this reporter in the war plans is a huge embarrassment for the Trump administration. So anything they can do to divert attention, Musk's job cutting is already very, very unpopular. And Trump wants to somehow push through this enormous tax cut for America's billionaires while cutting social services for the poor. So what Trump wants to do is distract attention away from his unpopular policies and incompetent policies in the United States by opening up another front, now with the Houthis, but potentially with Iran. And that could lead to World War III. That is a very, very dangerous scenario.
Peter, the United States says that it was successful in its latest strikes against the Houthis despite that leak. Do you think that the United States will be able to deter the Houthis in that region and ultimately move on from this fighting that's erupted, that's affecting not only geopolitical aspects of the situation, but also shipping lines and whatnot?
The Houthis are a unique phenomenon. They managed to persevere against years of Saudi attacks backed by the United States. They did not give in and they were not defeated. So the Houthis are willing to sacrifice a lot for what seems to be their principles. What they say their goal is to support the Gazans who are being brutalized by Israel with U.S. support. And they say that you have to remember that during the ceasefire, the Houthis stopped their attacks on Red Sea shipping. But once the ceasefire broke apart and there was a cutoff of humanitarian aid in Gaza, the Houthis announced that they were going to begin their strikes against Israeli shipping. The U.S. used that as a pretext for attacking the Houthis. So the U.S. was looking for that. But the real goal is not Yemen, which is poor, relatively weak, small population, although strategically located. The real goal is Iran. And that's what has everybody worried about. And Trump has made very, very clear that he holds Iran responsible for anything the Houthis do, even though most experts agree that the Houthis are in many ways independent. They don't get the marching orders from Iran. They act on their own guidance. And so this seems to be, the danger is this is a pretext. This is what Netanyahu has been wanting and what Trump seems to be willing to give Netanyahu even though the consequences are so dire. So even though Trump is trying to get a ceasefire and possibly a resolution to the fighting in Ukraine, he's opening up another front. And Hegseth has said, the Secretary of Defense has said, that the real goal of ending the war in Ukraine so the U.S. can focus on the real enemy, which is China. So Trump is going all over the place now, but is very, very embarrassed by these latest revelations, which show the thorough incompetence of his national security and defense team. And so he needs a distraction, and this seems to be what he's going for.
I'm so sorry to cut you off, Peter. Thank you so much for all of that. We're going to be watching this story very closely. Of course, our next story is about that leak in Signal, and I look forward to speaking to you again very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.